Much like my Train Sim World review, I'm going to say I know nothing about planes. They are massive and really shouldn't be able to defy gravity like they do. It must be absolutely terrifying to fly one, and I can confirm it is. Well, the big bastards anyway. Flight Simulator gives you the entire planet to explore. Any airport you can think of, you can take off and land from, though some in the remote areas are absolutely tiny, so you might as well set fire to your plane instead of taking off. The tutorials are very good. It teaches you everything you need to know in a clearish manner. Sometimes it throws too many abbreviations at you, but by the time they were over I could confidently fly a plane. Well, mostly. I'm sure the first time I took off on my own, air traffic control were like, Jesus Christ, how much has he had to drink today? You also get loads of assists that you can turn on or off, which is nice for absolute idiots like me. Though I found the default easy setting to be annoying. The game seems to wrestle control off you a bit, and you get info popping up on your screen every 5 seconds. So I would have a fiddle with them and see what's right for you. There's 20 planes that all feel well different, from little crappy biplanes that look like they will disintegrate in a strong wind, to massive Airbuses with loads of passengers on that you can give a terrifying death to. Once you have taken off and got into the air adjusting your flaps and trim, no, I'm not telling the female viewers to adjust their privates, no, it helps you keep a level flight, and once you've done that it can be very relaxing. Seeing the world pass you by from 20,000 feet is just nice. Then it comes to landing, which can feel like you're heading towards an inevitable death. It's tricky, but very satisfying when you pull it off. If you feel intimidated by it, you can let the AI take control, though when I tried it landed on the runway fine, but when it tried to park it just went in a straight line towards a block of flats, so it might have suicidal tendencies. You can adjust the weather and time at any point, so if you want you can see the world as you want to see it, though don't try to take off in a storm in your early game because it's terrifying and really hard. It's a very chill game, much like Euro Truck Simulator. It's one of those games where you need to have a plan of what you want to do, because the game doesn't have any sort of career mode. You can do challenges, such as landing challenges, but for me, this game is about exploring the world. In my travels, I went to the Pyramids of Giza, which looked pretty cool, even managed to fly between some of them. I went to Skegness, and it was basically a featureless brown wasteland, which is very accurate. I also went to Cromer, which I visited recently, and it looked a bit like it. The pier was underwater according to the game. Which brings me on to saying the map data thing has been massively overblown. All the people thinking they can crash a plane into their ex-girlfriends' houses are going to be disappointed. I tried to find my parents' house in Leicester, and whilst I found the football ground, it was hopeless trying to find it. There is so much more foliage in the area than real life. Maybe the game does that to cover up the hideous close-up textures. However, the illusion from very high above is awesome. You see tiny little cars going about and it genuinely looks like it does when you're on a plane. I know what you're thinking. Glenn, did you try to recreate 9/11? No, who would do that? It is in incredibly poor taste. China's World Trade Center, on the other hand, is fair game. There's 30 handcrafted airports in the base version, and I honestly couldn't tell you how accurate they are. I'm not a well-travelled man. But all the others are generated from scans, and they look fine. Again, couldn't tell you how accurate, but they all look airporty. The level of detail all round is astonishing. The interiors in the planes in first person look incredible, and all the tools and instruments look so authentic. It can be a faff though trying to flick some of them on using your mouse cursor whilst also trying to keep your plane level. I use the controller mostly, but it is pretty necessary to use the mouse and keyboard for accessing menus and using your plane's instruments. I did find the controller overly sensitive at first, but obviously there's loads of control options to tweak and I got it to a level I liked. There is multiplayer, but you have to have your weather and time settings on live, and even then you have the whole world at your disposal, so encountering other players is quite unlikely. I actually got quite paranoid about having air traffic on live. You can see real life planes on their journeys, and I was like, what if I appear on their radar and cause them to crash? Would I be classed as a terrorist then? Optimization wise, the game is all over the place. Up in the air it's mostly fine with the occasional lockup, but after a few seconds it carries on. It's crashed on me to desktop many times at seemingly random points. I'm running the game on high preset with a 1660 Ti and the frame rate has been mostly okay. Like before, high in the air it's fine, but it does dip quite a lot in really random places. I understand when it does it in busy city environments up close, but when I'm flying across a featureless desert it, I'm not sure. Overall though, the game is easy to recommend. It's immersive, relaxing and so deep. It's just a nice game to chill to, take a nice journey and have a few beers, giving you the thrill of breaking the law without actually doing it.
It is right.